What is up, car addicts? In this video I'm going to be giving a guide for this week's normal time trial, RC Bandito time trial, and the premium race for this week, totaling over $300,000. Remember, the time trials can only be completed once a week for the full $100,000 payout. The premium race, however, can be completed in a limited amount of times with a 48-minute cooldown between each win. Also keep in mind that rocket-powered / flying vehicles cannot be used in time trials. So, starting off with the time trial this week, which is Perro Pier, I highly recommend either Shotaro, Hakuchu Drag, Baddie 801, or a quick car for this time trial. In terms of route, this one is pretty easy with only a few shortcuts throughout. The hardest part of this time trial is definitely avoiding the traffic, and the off-road section at the end can get pretty tricky as well. This one took me quite a few tries because the traffic kept messing me up over and over, but eventually I got it done. I think a bike is definitely the easiest for this one because you can lane split a bit easier. Now, usually for these time trials, I challenge myself by picking either the recently added drip feed car, the prize ride challenge car, or the casino podium car of a corresponding event week. And for this week, we have the iWagon as the recently added drip feed car, the Drift Tampa as the casino podium car, and the Calico GTF as the prize ride challenge car. Now, the iWagon handles and accelerates very well, but its top speed is just too low. It's laughably low, and for this particular time trial, it has quite a few top speed sections. It just can't do it. I gave it my all. I tried my best trying to do it with this car, and I couldn't really come close at all. I then tried the Drift Tampa, but that car just lacked the top speed as well. I was pretty close towards the end, but I just couldn't get it done in that car. So I was forced to pick the prize ride car for this week, which is the Calico GTF. Now, this car is one of the fastest ones for tuner races, so it really wasn't that difficult to beat the time trial with this car, but the traffic definitely messed me up quite a few times trying to get it done. And even with all that, I mean, it was still pretty close towards the end. I think a bike is definitely your safest bet for this week's time trial. Moving on to this week's RC Bandito time trial, which is Vespucci Canals. As always, you need to own an RC Bandito in order to participate in these. So this one is pretty tricky if you've never done it before due to the high-speed bumpy areas, the tighter areas, and the jumps as well. I highly recommend letting off the throttle before most of the jumps and turns, and for the tighter turns, I definitely recommend using your brakes. But when you use those brakes, make sure to press them in about halfway, not all the way, or you might lose control of your Bandito. And lastly, we have this week's premium race, which is down the drain. This one is restricted to the muscle cars class. I highly recommend either the Buffalo STX or the Vapid Click for this race. Now usually the Vapid Click wouldn't be too competitive with the Buffalo STX, but because of the major speed boost that particular car gets off the walls of this race, it can keep up extremely well with the Buffalo in this particular race. Now this race is mainly top speed based with a hairpin turn on either end, so it's not that difficult. The main part people struggle with and mess up on is the first jump at the beginning, and honestly once you get used to it, it's not too difficult. Just make sure to brake lightly before it and angle your car to the left. You will land almost perfectly every single time. Also, you want to be going on and off the walls of this race, which gives you a pretty significant speed boost. Just make sure you avoid certain obstacles in the way. And that's it guys. The normal time trial is pretty tricky because of the traffic, but if you use a quick car or bike, you should be able to beat it pretty easily. The RC time trial is pretty tricky as well, but just take it slow and you should be fine. And this week's premium race is pretty easy if you can get that jump right. Again, remember guys, you can earn over 300,000 between the three this week, and setting yourself to go to beat them is always a lot of fun in my personal opinion. Let me know which one you found most difficult and what vehicles you use down below in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.